Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. On this channel, I will tell you things you have never heard before or things you may have heard but misunderstood or misheard. In the fading glow of the early internet age, a shadow stepped forward, not with a face, but with a name, John Titor. He claimed to be a traveler, not from another place, but from another time. His words were not whispered, they were typed pixel by pixel into the glowing screens of online forums, sending ripples of fear, hope, and disbelief across the digital void. Tonight, we open the file on one of the strangest cases in modern history, and once you hear his story, you may never look at the future or the past the same way again. The year was 2000. The world had just stepped into a new millennium full of technological optimism. The fear of Y2K had faded, and the internet, still young, still wild, was becoming the meeting place of minds across continents. Forums and chat rooms buzzed with the thrill of anonymity, of limitless conversation. And then, a new voice appeared. On November 2nd, 2000, in a small discussion forum, a user calling himself Time Travel 00 began to post. At first, his tone was casual, even friendly, but soon his words grew heavier, stranger. He claimed to be a soldier from the year 2036, sent back in time on a mission, not to save the world, but to retrieve a specific, almost forgotten piece of technology. An IBM 5100 computer from 1975. He said this ancient machine held unique programming abilities that, in his timeline, were essential for debugging legacy systems. A problem his world still faced decades after ours thought it was solved. He spoke in technical detail that, to some, was too accurate to be coincidence. To others, it was an elaborate hoax. But it wasn't just his mission that caught people's attention, it was his warnings. John Titor, as he began signing his posts, painted a grim picture of the future: civil unrest, political division, a second American Civil War, a global conflict that would reshape the world map. He claimed his timeline was not exactly ours, that events could differ, but the core trajectory remained the same. The forums lit up with questions. Who was this man? Could he be telling the truth? And if he was, what did it mean for the choices we make today? As the weeks passed, John Titor's presence on the forum grew. He wasn't just answering questions. He was engaging in deep technical discussions about time travel mechanics. He described his time machine in startling detail. A C204 gravity distortion unit manufactured by General Electric, powered by dual micro-singularities contained in a magnetic housing. He claimed his machine could manipulate gravity to curve space-time, allowing him to jump between points in time. Unlike the cinematic portrayals of time travel, his method was slow and precise. He said the process was not like disappearing in a flash of light. Instead, the world outside would seem to distort, colors shifting, objects bending, and reality itself stretching before snapping into place in another time. Skeptics challenged him relentlessly. They demanded proof, photographs, anything tangible. He posted grainy images of his time machine's control panel and the IBM 5100 in his possession. The pictures looked both oddly authentic and suspiciously mundane, enough to divide the community even further. Then came the prophecies. Titor spoke of America splitting into 5 regions, of cities burned in civil war, of a nuclear exchange in 2015 that would kill millions. He described his post-war America as rural, decentralized, and deeply changed, a far cry from the urban, connected world we know. Some followers took his warnings seriously, preparing for the worst. Others mocked him, pointing out that his predictions could easily be drawn from conspiracy theories already circulating at the time. But there was something about his calm, matter-of-fact tone that kept people hooked. And then, just as suddenly as he had appeared, he was gone. On March 24, 2001, John Titor posted his final message. He thanked everyone for the conversations, left a few cryptic remarks, and signed off, saying he was returning to his own time. No one ever heard from him again. After John Titor's sudden disappearance, the debates only intensified. In the years that followed, online forums, conspiracy websites, and even mainstream media revisited his story. People began to dissect every line of his posts, looking for clues, contradictions, or hidden meanings. Theories emerged like ripples in a still pond. The most grounded theory claimed Titor was a hoax, a single individual, or perhaps a small group weaving an elaborate online roleplay. Supporters of this theory pointed to inaccuracies in his predictions. No civil war in 2005, no nuclear exchange in 2015. They argued that his IBM 5100 story, while intriguing, could have been researched by anyone with access to obscure technical documents. But others weren't so quick to dismiss him. They pointed out that Titor had warned about certain political divisions and technological developments that seemed eerily prescient. For example, his mention of an increased reliance on decentralized communication networks or the rise of localized communities resisting centralized authority struck a chord with events in the 2020s. And then came the wilder theories. Some believed Titor was a real-time traveler, but from a parallel timeline, meaning his history was never meant to align perfectly with ours. This, they argued, explained why some of his warnings seemed off, while others hit uncomfortably close to home. A more fringe group proposed that the US government was involved, using the Titor persona as a psychological experiment to test public reaction to catastrophic predictions. Modern scientific analysis tried to tackle the plausibility of his time travel claims. Physicists examined his C204 unit description, comparing it with real theories on Kerr black holes and Tipler cylinders. While the general consensus was that the technology described was beyond our current capabilities, nothing in his explanation blatantly violated known physics, at least in theory. Even today, the mystery remains unresolved. Was John Titor a prophet, a prankster, or something far stranger? In the decades since his last message, John Titor has become more than just an internet mystery. He has become a legend. Entire communities still track world events through the lens of his predictions, ticking off what has and hasn't come to pass. Podcasts, documentaries, and countless YouTube channels dissect his words like sacred texts, searching for new patterns or hidden codes. Some modern researchers have gone further. They've attempted to reverse engineer his supposed C204 time displacement unit using advancements in quantum computing, miniaturized superconductors, and theoretical warp field equations. While no working time machine has emerged, the effort itself has revealed fascinating breakthroughs in unrelated fields, like ultra-precise atomic clocks and experimental gravity wave detection. In 2025, a group of independent physicists recreated a simulation of Titor's claimed travel path through space-time, factoring in known cosmological constants. The results? A strange alignment between his route and a set of hypothetical wormhole entry points, calculated by NASA's Theoretical Propulsion Lab. Was this coincidence, or a hint that Titor's knowledge came from somewhere far beyond casual speculation? And yet, the most haunting part of the story is not what Titor predicted, but what he didn't. His writings are silent about certain major events that shook our reality, as if those moments belong to a completely different timeline, or as if someone had edited them out, which leaves us with the same questions echoing through time. Was John Titor an elaborate hoaxer with uncanny foresight? A genuine traveler from a fractured future? Or something else entirely? Because if he was telling the truth, then somewhere, in some other version of reality, John Titor may still be out there, watching, waiting, and deciding when to speak again. And when he does, will we be ready? Perhaps John Titor's story is not a chapter from the past, but a preface to our future. And if time itself is watching us, the question is, when the next traveler arrives, will you be here to witness it? Subscribe, keep your eyes on the horizon, and be ready. If you liked this video, please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to turn on notifications.